delicious and wholesome beverages. So check us out at mymajesties.com. That's MyMajesties.com. My Majesties, an Urban Passport member.
Now, you can't live in Texas and not have a good red meat blend. Texas Cowboy Dust is designed for steak and other red meats. It's out to be my most popular spice blend, made with onions, peppers, ground mushrooms, pink salt, and other spices. Texas Cowboy Dust also goes great with chicken, pork, vegetables, and adds a restaurant-quality sheen to gravies and sauces.
It's like a loop machine. Going around town, trying to get down.
Vanilla smoked sea salt seasoning is for seafood. The tarragon and fennel bring out the natural sweetness in seafood. I also use it in rice dishes, on yams, asparagus, blueberry pancakes, and believe it or not, chocolate chip cookies. Vanilla smoked sea salt adds a salty and savory component to sweet dishes that create a symphony for the tongue.
Have you had your Earth Blend coffee today? At Earth Blend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earth Blend Coffee.
What's happening, fam? What's happening? Today is the 9th of December. So y'all know what that means. It's almost 2021. So what we gonna do here, my apologies. Welcome to Random Thoughts with DVP. I am your host with the most today, DVP. And I think we're gonna have a pretty good show. So it's, as I said, it's the 9th of December. So we got, 21, 22 days left of this madness that we call 2020. And damn if we didn't all survive. So for those of y'all that survived with me, salute. I know y'all used to the blue, but I wanted to try something a little different, so I'm gonna have some green with me today. It's still strong. All right, so for those of y'all who pay attention to titles, the show is gonna be about real men, fact versus fiction, and all the other good stuff. I got some guests who are going to join me. A couple of them had something they had to take care of. A couple of emergencies came up, but they are going to join me late, but they are going to join. But hey, my super producer Roy is going to be here, and he got something to say. And you know, I always got something to say, but I'm going to let them do their thing. And what I want y'all to see is how different men can be and how alike they can be. But the moral of the story is, I hate when anybody tries to generically categorize all men or real men. Men like what they like, and we don't all like the same things. Just like women don't. You know, you have to find somebody that likes what you bring to the table and vice versa. But as we do my monologue, I just want to say, I made a post, 6 plus 3 is 9, so is 5 plus 4. What we have got to learn to do is accept other people's way of thinking. The world would be a much greater place if we accepted others' way of thinking and stop thinking everybody got to think like us. And I said this before. If I think exactly like Roy, then that makes me Roy sheep. Nobody truly has independent thought. We all think like somebody else. So if I choose to follow along with Roy's thinking, it doesn't make me a sheep. This means I agree with what Roy's saying. And, you know, we got to get beyond this whole thing of telling people, if you don't think like me, or if you think like the masses, you're just sheep. Sometimes the masses are right. I mean, it's just that simple. Sometimes they're right. And being woke or overstanding shit, and overstanding is a dumb word for those who try to change the meaning. If you know what understand means, that means you get it. So if you overstand, that means you don't get it. If we're using words for what they're understanding, because you can't change over and under for this meaning. But hey, you do what you do. So we're gonna talk about some of the things that men do and the situations they're placed in, and what our basic perception is for the person that we choose to cohabitate with, to mate with, to marry, to be lifelong partners with, yada yada yada, whatever title is you want to use. And it's not sexist. So unfortunately, I didn't reach out to any of my same-sex friends, because I actually should have got one of them to come on here, just so you'll see that there are some things that we share, there's some things that we just disagree on, but it's usually not because of anything major. What's up, Ernest Moore from Future Gents? The award-winning, what was Atlanta's hottest motivational speaker? That's what I'm talking about. So here we are today, and we got what we had right at 6 weeks before we get a real president of the United States. So we got a lot to look forward to in 2021. What's up, Crystal? Because I'm assuming Crystal always shows she's one of my favorites. She always shows she make Darren go to work. She'll never let Darren get a day off. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to call Judge Toll on her to make sure they doing all right, make sure she's treating them right. Roy, you still there? I don't see your face yet. I just want to make sure you still with me so you can be ready to come on when we get to the gettings.
Yes, sir. What's happening?
So, yeah, a real president, not just somebody entitled. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like men and dude. We all look alike, but we're really different. I don't know, were you sleeping? Stop playing. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that. And see, I need Darren to be on the show one day, Chris. So tell Darren one day he gonna have to just take his lunch break around 6:15, 6:30, give me 10, 15 good minutes. But yeah, I got Roy here. Y'all see him in the background doing his thing. Before we get deeper into it, if you want to advertise on the show, you wanna be a guest, you got a topic that you want me to look into and discuss, you can inbox me. I'll get you in touch with Roy if you want to be on the show, if you want to advertise on my show, however you want to do it. We're gonna make 2021. I would say better than 2020, but the bar is so low. It's kind of like it sucks that I have to use this comparison, but it's kind of like asking Biden to do a good job compared to who you're replacing. Is it really that hard? I mean, all he got to do is not kill 1 million people, and he's a better president. That's so. But anyway, I ain't gonna make this a political show. I'm hitting shit. So, you know what? Let's just get to the getting as I'm waiting on my guests. I don't want to wait too long on them because I want to get into these topics. The first topic is, because it's just me and Roy for right now. And Roy has kids, I have kids. The other two gentlemen have children, so I kind of want to wait on them because I really want different perspectives. But since it's me and Roy, Roy, you got girls, right?
I actually have 2 daughters and a son. My son is the youngest. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Your son? He's and now he's 21. Well, he'll be 21 next month. He's 20 right now. So yeah, I have. So I'm assuming what you're talking about. Is we gonna get into it? Is this image here?
Hold on. Let me see if Ernest does Future Gents, and he's molding the minds of young men. Let me see if Ernest want to come be on the show right quick if he got that kind of time. Yeah, I'm like, no, that's blocking me. But I'm looking at something different.
Ernest, people swear I'm like 400 pounds, dog. Ain't nobody snoring, dude. I guess that's just my breathing being heavy.
Yeah, and that's and you know where to come from. It's like you just got a good mic that's picking up everything.
Right.
Yeah, and that's all that means. Ernest bootleg. But let me see if he want to come on the show. But yeah, before we get to the picture, being a good parent, and since the show is about men, being a good dad is subjective to 1, what we know, 2, what we believe, and 3, who our kids are. Because Roy has 3. And Roy can probably tell you, and I'll let him speak for himself, but even though he is one dad, he can't be the same dad to all 3 of the kids, because very rarely are kids the same where they want the exact same thing. So you got to kind of know your personnel, as we say. One kid may need more back patting. One kid may need to be a little bit stricter with. One kid just may need words of encouragement. I mean, you never know how to. You can't have one general pattern for all your kids. So, what up, Chuck? So you can't just have one pattern and say that's the mark for being a good dad. You got to know your kids. If all you going up was one frame of mind, uh, it ain't what's happening. Ernest, do you want to be on the show? I can send you the link right quick. You know what I'm saying? Because since you raising Future Gents, since you're the president and CEO of Future Gents, I could go with having you on here. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Terry Duncan? Hey, Glenn Hoover. Y'all need to come to Random Thoughts with DVP. Were you finna say something, Roy?
Well, I can. I guess I didn't know which part of, if you were at the question point that you were going to ask me for the post or whatever. So.
Oh no, I ain't there quite yet.
Oh, I say I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
I know you. I know you're ready right now. Cause I wanna do the boyfriend girlfriend post first. But I'm waiting for Trina so we can come down and read.
Okay.
She's doing something right quick. Cause I want people to hear. Cause we ain't practicing, but I want people to hear the exchange. Because
right.
What seemed to be going on with that one is there was a lot of people adding facts that weren't there,
but
based on a personal situation.
Well, they were assuming stuff,
right?
And I said basically, because you remember, and that was funny because I made one of the comments that I made about that. One of the sisters, I don't know, I think it may have been Area. And the first thing she says, here come Lyle. The first thing she says, she was like, "Oh, so he gonna call some other woman?" He didn't say he was calling some other woman.
It's definitely not what he said.
So yeah, that was funny.
But depending on how we read it, hey, can you send Ernest the link? Or you?
Yeah, I got you.
Cause I can't add him to the chat. So Ernest, he gonna send you the link. So come on and join us so we can go and get crack-a-lacking.
I just let Lyle in, so he should be popping up here in a second.
All right. So, but again, like I said, and I think Ernest has 2 daughters, so this is kind of he a little on the outside right now. And I know Lyle has a son also.
Yep. 2 sons.
Okay, Lyle, why I sound like you on the Atlanta Motor Speedway, sir?
I am, sir. I'm not at home. I sent a text saying that I'll be doing hair.
I know. Hey, don't be making us co-conspirators to you driving and Facebooking at the same time, sir. Don't you just talk. Hey,
I have hands-free control, and you're on my earpiece, sir. I'm driving very safe.
Okay, I just want to make sure now, cause you don't want to make me and Roy turn spade on you.
Right, cause y'all turned me in.
Are you here? Okay. Ain't nothing on there yet. Yeah, and then they can't read at the same time because they have to be invited to the Zoom to read it. I was talking to Trina right quick. That's why it's easier for you to just do it and we can get on with it. Because they can't read it and come through the mic. All right, you ready? Yeah, I'm gonna pull up right here. All right, what we're gonna do, Ro, we're gonna start off with the what's up, Wanda? We're gonna start off with the conversation between the boyfriend and girlfriend. And for those of y'all that are visually challenged or just kind of slow for no reason whatsoever, Trina's gonna play the role of the girlfriend. I'm gonna play the role of the boyfriend.
All right.
I just had to figure out I need to throw that out there. And Lyle,
role play. Yeah. All right.
I didn't know why I forgot to tag you on the post, Lyle, but I want you to make sure you pay attention and give me your thoughts.
I got you.
So this is between a boyfriend and girlfriend. This is what we know factually speaking. We know that they've been together for 2 years. We know that they share a place. We don't know if they live together, but we know. What's up, Amina? Oh, I should have invited Amina to the chat. So me and Trina gonna read the exchange, and we're assuming that most of this was over the phone. No, it had to be text.
It was text.
Okay, so yeah, because he sent it. So me and Trina gonna read this. All right.
All right.
Hey, babe, what's going on? I called you 3 times.
I'm at Judy's baby shower. It's loud over here. Are you okay?
Babe, I had a bad day today. Remember Tevin? He was in a car accident, and the driver fled. He's on life support.
Wow, babe, I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry you had a bad day. Are you going to see Tevin?
I can't. They won't let any friends see him, and that's why I'm hurting. I've known him for 20 years, and he's always been there for me. I'm crushed and scared for him. His sister said it's bad, and they may take him off life support tonight.
Wow, babe, I'm so sorry.
Is the baby shower almost over, babe? I need you. I'm breaking down.
No, babe, she has lots of gifts and they're about to start opening them. Then I promise her I'll help her clean up afterwards. I'll be another 2 hours or so.
Babe, please just come home. I'm feeling low and I just need a hug and comfort from you. I feel lightheaded and dizzy. I'm not handling this well. You can't have someone else help? I need you, babe.
Just eat something and put a warm towel over your head and relax, babe. I promise I will be home soon. 2 more hours and I'll speed right home to you.
Babe, when your grandmother passed last year, I was at a basketball tournament. I had 2 games left and didn't play those games. I was on the first flight to you. I clearly said I'm down, and you're staying over a coworker's baby shower is more important than my pain? You've been there 5 hours. You can't stop everything for me?
Are you fucking kidding me? How could you bring up my grandma? It is not the same situation. That's your childhood friend. That was my blood. You're harsh to bring her up. You're a man acting like a female. I can't stop everything I have. I have obligations, and I said I'll be there in a couple hours.
I'm good. Stay at your coworkers. I'll call someone else. Thank you for showing me your true colors, which I didn't take 2 years to see it. Maybe we should take a break. I need to get my mental health in order. You don't have the time.
Wow, you will call someone else? Is that a threat? You're acting soft and giving me ultimatums? Yeah, a break is what I need. I didn't sign up to take care of you. 2 years down the fucking drain. Don't text me anymore. You're clearly speaking from an emotional state. I'll let you cope. Get well, and I'll get my stuff tomorrow morning.
It will be on the lawn. Bye now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm lost.
Oh, you're right there.
Do not touch my stuff. I'm serious. You're tripping now. I'm on my way home.
Wow. So when I tell you I'm feeling down, you're busy. But when I tell you your clothes will be on the lawn, you're on your way home. Wow. Yeah, come get your shit.
My clothes are expensive. I'm on my way. You're acting brand new now. Unbelievable.
You have not seen unbelievable.
Was I good? Was I good? No.
All right. So that's the scenario.
Yeah.
That's the scenario. So Lau, you want to speak on that one while you're driving? Because I need for you to be focused. You want to speak? How would you feel if you reached out to your woman in the time of need and she told you she'd rather be at a baby shower?
Well, that's really some BS to me, really, bro. If you guys read the whole thing, she seemed to be very concerned in the beginning. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
She seemed to be very concerned in the beginning, but as the phone or as the texting kept going, then it seemed like all that fell to the wayside, and it's kind of from what I hear, kind of like really turned her back on him a little bit. You know, if you really down for your man, I don't think any person that I've dealt with recently or whatever like that would really do that or say that. Even if they couldn't break away, it wouldn't sound like that, especially down to the end, because it got real funky in the end. So they're my views, and I don't think the brother was being too sensitive. Especially if he say he lightheaded or some shit like that. Come on, that's physical. So whatever your mental health is manifesting in the physical, and something could be wrong with him. So,
do you think the brother was being a little girlish or punkish?
No, hell no. I mean, everybody got feelings, and if that's one of his homeboys, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
Right.
The homeboy you done been through a lot of shit with, man, come on.
All right,
so, no, I don't think that. I know all men got feelings. I know how some men were growing up. You know, I didn't grow up with my dad. I didn't have that pressure to be a man, hit you in the chest, man up, all that bullshit. But I wasn't also on the sensitive side either. I mean, my mom was there, but it wasn't like that either. So I don't think he was being too sensitive at all. I see my boy Big E on the line. But yeah, man, that's my views. For real.
Roy, what you got for me? As a matter of fact, Roy, I'm gonna hold you because you had a little debate going. Ernest, Future Ginseng Corp. So what's your thought process on that one, sir?
Can Ernest hear us?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What's your thought process on that scenario?
On what, sir?
Really, Ernest? The one I tagged you on with the boyfriend whose friend got shot.
I'm hearing you twice.
Oh, that's what you said. His friend. Oh, the one who's. Well, you gotta probably cut your sound down on what's called, and then listen. The scenario I tagged you on. Okay, Roy, go ahead to Ernest catch up with us.
Right.
So, Roy, what's
Hold
your
on,
thoughts on
yeah,
that?
I had turned my
Oh,
mic
the
down.
one with the young man laying on his father's chest?
No.
No. Go ahead, Roy, and he'll catch up with us.
Okay. All right, so here's my challenge with this whole situation because, you know, and I said I admit it. You know me, I'm open and upfront. I am what I like to consider a man who's in touch with his emotions and his emotional side. You know, I have an emotional side. I don't like the term people talk about something. Oh, you're in touch with your feminine side. No, I'm a man. We're humans. We all have emotions. So.
Right.
I'm gonna say this because this is one of the questions, D, that I wanted to ask, and this, especially after some of the comments that I got on the post that I did or the responses. What I would have so ultimately, both of them in this particular situation, I think took it too far. Because I'm gonna tell you this, even as a man who's in touch with his emotions, what I'm not going to do is what he did when he brought up her grandma. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remember that. And now I'm going to probably call somebody else, but I'm not going to tell her I'm calling somebody else. Because I'm not trying.
Calling a woman.
It doesn't matter. No, I know. I didn't get to that. I didn't get to that point. It doesn't matter who it is. And that's part of my point. Because that was actually one of the arguments that I brought up. Because somebody jumped on my post and was like, oh, he going to call another woman. I was like, no, he didn't say he was going to call another woman.
Right.
He said he was going to call someone. And so my thing is, I wouldn't have thrown back in her face what I did for her. I'm not that type of person. If I do something for you, I do it because I want to and I choose to. But I am, like you said, or like you were saying, Lyle, I am going to look at him like, wait a minute, you're at a baby shower. Now, I'm calling you at a time of very, very difficult, right, and dire need in my life. And if you're telling me that you staying at this baby shower for the next 2 hours is more important than you getting home to me, again, right. I may not say that right there, but I'm sure enough ticking that little box and like, okay, I see where I fall at in your hierarchy of importance. Because now I'm sitting up here wondering, it's like, yo, this is, you know, situation. And just like you said, she talked about something, oh, that's blood. I'm assuming that she knows who this dude is because she asked how he was doing. Been friends for over 20 years. We all know that we got some friends that are closer than a lot of our family members are.
Yeah.
That we spend time with. So to try to throw that out there was just kind of dirty. And then the fact that she decided when, you know, like I said, I think both of them did go a little over. But the fact that she was like, well, I'm coming to get my stuff now. And she talked about something, I got expensive clothes. Oh, my goodness. I'm like, I probably would have been like, oh, yeah, that's going to be a wrap on that whole situation there, too. If you coming home because you got expensive clothes and you don't want nothing to happen to your clothes, but you couldn't come home for me when I needed you. You know, that would have been the thing. And so, but see, and Amina say he's been manipulative. He's being what you expect in a relationship. He's going to the person who he's closest to in his time of need. That's not big. I don't, you know, like I said, I don't agree with him throwing up the thing about the grandmother, but still, that if that's where his emotions have him, okay, that's where his emotions have him.
But and this is the thing. Everybody processes grief differently. Because
right.
For some people, one of the stages of grief is anger because, and I was telling somebody this, when people die on us, there's a point when we're mad that they died on us. And that's just something they got to process as they're going through it. I don't see the manipulation. And with him bringing up that, you know, when people are going through phases, how they process is how they process. And all he did was give a correlation. And I can't even be mad with him giving a correlation because he's just saying I dropped everything. Because this was my take. When her grandmother died, and it's her grandmother, but she was dead. What can he do for her? Nothing. She was dead. His friend ain't dead yet. So I get it, and I get why people want to push one way or another way, but there are very few of us who have been in a moment of passion where we were heard about something that we spoke like we do when we're in normal conversations. When you're hurt, you'll lash out at any and everybody who challenges your hurt, because that's when a lot of FUs come out, when people challenge us to man up. And you know, I see what Amina's saying, but if we go back to what all these women keep complaining about, and I know Ernest got a point on this, they want us to be sensitive and show our emotional side, but what's the purpose in showing it to get slapped in the face? And that's why men will shut down and not show it. It's like, well, you know, because I'm sure she's made the statement, babe, I'm here if you need me. And for you to tell me that a co-worker's baby shower for 5 hours, I'm not waiting 2 hours. That to me is insane. If I flew, and to me that's a good comparison. If I flew from out of state, and we know there's no way you can jump on a flight in 20 minutes. So he stopped playing in a tournament. He flew, and we all know how much a ticket costs at the last minute. So he stopped everything to come be with her for her grandmother. He didn't play the "that's your grandmama" card, why should I be there? You ain't my wife, why should I be there? So if we're talking about reciprocity, then when he say he hurt, because if one of my friends, and Tommy is my play brother. Tommy is more important to me than my real brother. One of my play brothers caught COVID-19. Trina knew I wasn't in a good place. She wasn't just willy-nilly going out. You know, every time she was leaving, she's like, "Are you good? You know, I need to go to the store for me. You gonna be all right?" And you know, I can't say I wasn't depressed. I wasn't in tears or nothing like that. But yeah, at that point, I needed the support, because I wasn't strong, because that hurt, that hit close to home. If she would have said, you know, some craziness like this, that was manipulation, because you're challenging me in my emotions now. And we got Robert on here finally, with smoking his shit.
What up, bro?
What up? So
I need to go put on my bow tie.
I don't know why you took your time off. Oh, hold on, because I think Ernest is up to speed now. He got his hand up. So Ernest, what you got to say? Is Ernest there? I think Ernest got Metro.
Ernest is either. Ernest, are you listening to what we're doing on Facebook, or are you listening to us on Zoom?
The whole fact of, yeah, can you hear me?
You're listening. I can tell what he's doing. He's listening to us on Facebook and not on Zoom. You need to listen to us on the Zoom.
To you on Zoom.
Well, dog, that's a serious delay. Okay, well, go ahead.
I'm on
right.
Zoom.
Okay, go ahead, Ernest. Yeah.
That's what I was saying. It was a delay earlier. I don't know, but hey, it's a delay.
Go ahead,
so here's the thing. When we talk about the fact that the fact that her clothes is on the lawn, or possibility of being on the lawn, can only mean that this is not the first time something like this happened. Right? They must have had issues prior to this.
What you got, Robert?
Well, I just joined in. You got to let me know what.
That's right, because you didn't answer the post. And you know what? And it works good with us. And me and Robert got history. There was a couple. The guy's friend was in a car wreck, and they took him to the hospital, and he on life support. They talking about that he may not make it through the night. His girlfriend is at a baby shower. She been gone almost 5 hours. He called her and asked her to come home because he needed him. And she said he got to wait 2 more hours because she got to help with the baby shower. He brought up the fact that when her grandmother died, when he was in a tournament out of state, he got on the flight. He got on the first flight and came back home to see about her. He don't understand why she can't do that for him. And it's a whole exchange. You can read the thing later. And he said, hey, I came for your grandmama. You can't come do this for me. And she like, get you a warm rag and some food or some shit like that. And so, you know, if you were to tell your wife that something happened to one of your close friends and you wasn't in a good place, is she going to stay at work or is she coming home?
Well, she should bring her ass home. If she don't come home, it's going to be a real problem. He should know. That should let him know right now she ain't down with him. She ain't down with him. She down with her friends.
But that's my point. This ain't nothing new. She been that way. That's my whole point. She been that way.
Yeah.
That's why she worried about her clothes being out on the lawn, because she been that way. Now, here's the thing. Y'all want us to be sensitive, but when we sensitive, we soft. Then when we hard, we too hard. There's no pleasing. There's no pleasing. So, my man did right. But I agree with Roy. You don't have to show your card by saying, well, I'm going to call so-and-so, or I'm going to call somebody else. That's throwing salt on, that's throwing salt. Just look, sis, I'll holler at you. All right. You know, like Roy said, I'm going to check that box. Okay. I know that she's not really, for real, down with me when I really, really, really needed her. This is not the first time sis acted up like that, though. That's why she worried about her stuff being on the lawn.
But see, that's a no-brainer, man. She shouldn't even have to think about that. You know what I'm saying? That's hey girl, hey, my man need me. I gotta go. Right. You got to deal with this baby shower. Really?
Yeah. See, here's my thing about the situation. That when you look at it, first off, this isn't a situation, and we can tell just from the situation. It's not like somebody getting into a serious car accident every week. It's not like this is something that happens on a regular basis. So the fact that he's reaching out to her in that manner, to me, makes me wonder, like kind of like what Ernest was saying, is this the first time? Because to me, like I would almost say his initial reaction, I would probably say it was an overreaction, only because he went from 0 to 60 real quick. And that's just not how but D, like you said, we can't dictate how people deal with trauma and emotion. And we have to realize that, especially when we get into relationships with people. You know what I'm saying? So the fact to be, first off, to me, there's no excuse. If my girl calls me, I don't care what I'm out with the boys do. We could be out at a bachelor party or something. If my lady calls me and is like, yo, I'm in a really bad emotional space right now. One of my best friends or somebody that got into action, I need you here. I'm like, deuces, dudes, I got to holler at y'all later. I expect that type.
We're talking 2 years.
Right.
That's what we can't go. We're not talking 2 months. We're talking 2 years in to the point they're cohabitating. Right. If it was 2 months, I agree with her. But 2 years in?
Hold up, though. Hold up. We don't have enough facts to really address all this. Because, number one, we don't know how many times he's done this in the past.
Well, see, Ernest, hold up. See, that's my point. Hold on. Let me say something. That was my whole point that I was just making. And like D just said, there's a big difference between 2 years and 2 months. If I've been with you 2 years to the point where you have stuff at my house, even if they're not living together totally, you've got enough stuff at my house that you're concerned about it. So that means that we're spending a whole lot of time together, if not actually living together. We don't even know if they're physically living together. We just know that she's there enough, where she got enough clothes over his house that she spends substantial time. If we're spending that much time together after 2 years and you can't step away from somewhere that you've already been for 5 hours, that's another problem. You've already been there for 5 hours.
She already been there for 5 hours.
Yeah,
I get that.
Hold on.
And she need 2 more hours. She need 2 more hours.
Y'all cut her too much slack, man. Y'all cut her too much slack. 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, 2 minutes. If you rock with me, you rock with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the time y'all talking about, but if you rock with me, you rock with me. If you just kicking it with you my girl, you better leave right away.
And I'm gonna give you a simple example, and Robert knows this. We went to a football tournament one time in Alabama, and there was a wreck. We lost some players, and we sat down as a team and decided whether or not we were gonna play it the next game or what we were gonna do. Cause one guy lost his leg. Did anybody die from that?
Yeah. Somebody died.
Yeah,
somebody died. It was a lot of serious injuries in that.
And we all sat down. And I want to say it was some women that came with us, but that was a conscious. But we were still a team. It wasn't like half of us was saying let's play, half of us was saying let's don't. We sat down as a team and discussed what we wanted to do, what we could do, and what was going to work out best. You know, because there was only so much we could do at the hospital. We were all sad. We weren't. We shouldn't have played. But
I didn't make that trip with y'all that year. But you know what though? I got the news like 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
At 6:00 in the morning, I was in Alabama. I didn't even ask my girl what you ain't got to know about this. But I told her where I was going, but you ain't got to respond. I'm telling you what happened, and I'm gone. You respond how you want to respond to it. I'm going to see about my boy.
Right, and then that one, he didn't need his woman to come because that was more of a team thing. But for the people who didn't make the trip, a lot of them stopped what they was doing and came. And it wasn't that they could do other than take care of the teammates who was there left suffering. And like I said, I knew Robert, we were on the same team, but I can't say me and Robert were great friends. Hell, and that's the thing. When the help call went up, there was no we had to throw something back, because the one something I would give the team, this Soul Patrol, is as a team, we were always together. Good, bad, or indifferent. So yeah, when we talking about having a woman that we letting into our circle, and women saying that, you know, men ain't sensitive, we don't show no emotion, I'm gonna tell you this, and there's no standard that we all go by. But for the most part, most men don't want to show any emotion because they get slapped by it, and you know what they do? They shut it down. Because the worst thing you can tell your significant other when he's having a moment is to man up or to wait for something. Because if we tell you that, if we tell you something is more important, we catch hell. So
catch hell. We go. We done. We done. That's what that is.
And the reason I say he ain't being manipulative, if he was being manipulative, the first thing he would ask her is why she ain't been answering the phone. But any of us who've been in an argument with our significant other know that sometimes we say things we don't mean because we're hurt. And
hurt people.
It sucks that we can't take it back, but there ain't many people who can tell me they've been in an argument and said some shit that they shouldn't have said. But they got caught between being sad or whatever, and then you know what's tied with sad, being angry. Because anytime somebody attacks your sadness, you defend yourself, and it may come out wrong, but it's what most people do. They say things in the heat of the moment. This man breaking down, and she telling him to get a cold compress and a sandwich. Man, I wish Trina would tell me some shit like that. I wish she would tell, because that to me is insane.
Hold on. See,
but you know what though? He can't even be mad. He know what he has to do at this point. Dude, you got to find somebody who's gonna rock with you. If she can't come support you because she's at a baby shower. I mean, man, come on, man, that's a no-brainer, man. It's over, and that's automatic over.
And I'm gonna jump in here.
Don't talk about it.
I'm gonna jump in on this here with Amina. Amina, I think that is a completely out of the way space. One, and I'm saying this based on the comment she just made. She says based on his inability to self-regulate. Hold on, let me get down here. During a crisis, what if she was in surgery on a cruise and the bridesmaid in a wedding? Okay, that's adding too much stuff in there. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Most guys, if our girl is in something that serious, what if she's on a cruise? We know we can't call her. She can't pick up nowhere and lead to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna make that other call first without even saying something. But yes, if it's any of those, I mean, surgery. If she's having surgery, well, no, she can't come. If she's a doctor, no, that would be asinine of me to even think something like that. I wouldn't even reach out to her in that space if I knew that's where she was. He knows that she is at a party with a baby shower with a bunch of other people that she know from work. He didn't call her in the midst of something serious.
But if we're going to take Amina's point, how do we know she was not cheating or something? See, we can't start all that what if.
That's what it is.
You know what I'm saying? We know what it is. We know what she told us. And if she told us she was at a baby shower, guess what? That means she can leave. See, let me just throw this out there. One time about it, when I worked undercover, and I worked undercover for a number of years, and I was married, but I was married at the time. My wife knew. You can't call me when I'm working undercover. I don't even have a phone, which you got to call a supervisor who knows how to get to me to the back phone, because I can't do nothing that's going to risk my life. So with a pending emergency, she knew most of the time she had to go somewhere else first because I am working undercover. So you know what she had to do? She had to plan around that. And that's the system. Once you know what somebody is, then you know. If Ernest, me and Ernest did the event. If I'm hosting the event, Ernest know he can't call me. I'm on the stage. Ain't nobody answering the phone on the stage. So, Amina, what you saying is you saying a bunch of what ifs. Hell, what if nothing? He called her. She was supposed to be at a baby shower. She couldn't leave a baby shower. There's no. I don't care if it's your mama's baby shower or your sister's baby shower. There's no baby shower that you cannot leave. None.
What the hey, look at what Amina Porter said. The point is that he didn't think it was what she say? He didn't think it was what she was doing important. God damn it, it's not.
No, hold on, D. Before you say something, I'm gonna quantify that because Robert, I was actually looking at the same post and about to say something. It's not that he doesn't think it's important. Now what he believes is that her friends are more important than he is.
He is.
That's the problem.
Absolutely.
Because because
y'all
now
it's a coworker. It ain't even a friend. It's a coworker.
That's true. It doesn't even say friend. It says coworker.
It says coworker.
That's true.
There lies the problem.
Yeah.
There lies the problem. He's not as important to her as her co-workers are.
Right.
And like my man RL said,
y'all doing too much, man. The dude she really like is at that baby shower.
He ain't at the baby shower. He with her.
That baby shower.
No, she they ain't at the baby shower. They in the baby making room.
Hey, and they've been plotting this for a minute, and she finally got to spend some time with him. She don't want to leave.
And you know,
see, y'all add it to the scenario.
But that's because Amina keep adding stuff. So if we just leave it at what it is and take everything at face value, I don't care. And remember, one of the things I always say is you should never be in a relationship till you have 3 hardships. You know how people feel about you when you have 3 hardships and you need them, or they need you. Then you know where you stand, especially when you need them. Because what's the thing? Whenever somebody needs you, they know who to call. But when you need them, can you call them back? See, that's the sadness. And I get how everybody want to defend everybody. She had no stands for a baby shower. The only stand she would have had, if the baby shower would have been in another state, then you know what? He shouldn't have called her. But guess what? When he was out of state, she didn't have no problem calling him out of state, and she knew he was out of state. So who's manipulative? I'm challenging you to come back from out of state to fly for my emergency. So who is really the manipulator? That's why when Amina started saying that, who's the manipulator? Because you out of town. You got to fly. And any of us who have flown knowing trying to get a last minute flight is almost $200 extra.
Hold up, Amina. Let me just jump in real quick.
Situation like this, well, she did the same thing this woman did. And now she's trying to.
Y'all leave my girl. Y'all leave my girl alone. Y'all leave my girl alone.
Come on the show, Amina. Defend yourself.
Y'all leave my girl Amina alone.
Y'all got the wrong one on the show tonight, man.
We put her out there like that. I understand where she's coming from.
She is dead wrong. Leave her, buddy. Whoever he is. Leave her.
And that's why we gotta and that's why I like having different opinions, because I mean I get what she's trying to get at. And Roy had said something, and Trina said something. Some of us are adding things based on our own personal experience, but if we just look at just the facts, we don't take nothing, we don't subtract nothing, we just read what it is. He has been trying to get her. His friend is in the hospital and can't get no visit. They talking about taking him off life support. She's saying I got a baby shower. She's saying I got a baby shower. She's saying, Ernest, you could ask me to host an event, and I could say, Ernest, I'm gonna be there for you. Let Trina call me and say, hey, and she ain't got to tell me nothing. All she got to do is call me with a sad voice. No matter what my commitment is, you guess what? I'm gonna say, Ernest, I hate to let you down, bro, but I got to take care of home first. And let that be that.
Darren, that's what I'm trying to get in. That's what I'm trying to get in.
Right.
I mean it. If she's at her co-worker's baby shower, let's just call it what it is on paper. We may think otherwise, but let's call it what it is on paper. She's at the baby shower. She could go to her coworker and say, hey, look, I got an emergency at the crib. I got to bounce. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. I'm bouncing. Peace out. That's what should happen. Everything else is
BS.
That's all whack. For
It's
real.
BS. I know you can't say BS, but it's BS.
Well, look, and here's another thing too.
Man, I just took a half a day off my job to sing at a friend of mine's son's funeral. I'm not getting paid for it, but he's more important than the money to me. So I'm doing this just for a friend. He ain't even my lady. You know what I'm saying? Right. Imagine what I would. No, I'm saying it's a no-brainer, man.
So and here's the best way for us to look at this, D. If we were just to reverse that situation, say it was, and I'm gonna use you and Trina since y'all here. Say it's you and Trina, you at my bachelor party, and we you know what, y'all live in what, Douglasville area or something. We gonna make it difficult. We at the bachelor party in Lawrenceville. No, I'm back in Athens. And you go. And Trina calls you and says to you, my best friend, not my sister, not my cousin, but the best friend that you know, because I'm sure they know each other, been rocking with her for the past 20 years, is in a bad car accident, and they will not let me in to see her, and they're talking about pulling her off of life support. See, here's the difference between that we look at, I guess, as black men especially, and men and women. When you come to me and even tell me, dude, my girl got a big problem at home, before you even finish, I'm like, dog, peace out, I'll see you later. Because you my boy.
I'm not even finna give you no whole explanation.
But that's what I'm saying.
I got to do.
And that's my point. Even if you said I just had a problem at home, it's not even a question for me. It's not a question for me that you got to deal with that.
You're going to say, drive safe and let me know if you need anything.
Exactly. Hit me back and let me know. It's not even going to, for us, we're expected to do that. And see, here's the funny part and the irony of all of this. Men are looked at as supposed to be providers, protectors, and what's the other one?
Leaders and all the other shit.
Right.
In this case, suckers.
But the thing is, and this is kind of what Ernest got into earlier, and this is one of the points that I wanted to make on this part, but I also wanted to bring this up when we got to the other picture, though. And I'm gonna just say this piece to it before I get into it. It's very interesting that we are always expected, or we're wanted to be emotionally available, and we're expected to be emotionally mature. But the problem is, like you said, D, they turn around and the first thing you're saying, stop being so soft. They want us to do that. And this is something I will tell you, and we all know this. Most black men are not even raised to be emotionally available for anybody. The first thing we tell our boys when they fall and they cry, suck it up, boy. Brush it off, rub some dirt on it, you'll be all right. Boys are, and that's one of the problems we have in our community and in our culture, that we do not allow our boys to be and deal with their emotions. So if you take a child through that whole process, and then when he gets to an adult age and you mad now because he doesn't do it, or he overcompensates, that's the issue that we've got to get past with that. Because, and I'm not talking about from the standpoint of it being done to the boys, I'm talking about the repercussions there. And just like you said, we get slapped when we do let our guard down, and we find that person that we care about that much, that we feel like or thought they should be there for us. First, sometime that we do that, we get this. Or just get. I mean, she literally, like you said, she literally told dude to get a towel and a sandwich.
Listen, I'm with Robert. If me and this woman, she got a key to my place, and I mean, I hear what you're saying. You're right. I don't value damn baby shower over my sad. You're right. Anytime a woman tells me that, you know what that means? Bye-bye, be gone. We playing a rap song. Bye-bye, be gone. A baby shower? That's like me saying, Trina don't feel good, but I got to go play a football game. Well, I'm just going to be gone. I'm just going to be gone 2 hours. Once Trina don't feel good, you know what? That game, it's a game. Even though we love playing flag football, we don't put it above family. We don't put it above being responsible. If it ain't a check, a baby shower, for them many hours. We got jobs that don't last that long. These many, and she in need, and I'm gonna sit there because I gotta help clean up. You have got to be shitting me. Can't nobody else help clean up? Clean up. Clean up. I just want you to repeat that outside. Let your man suffer in silence while you help somebody clean up. I've been to baby showers. How fucking dirty do they get? It ain't like the baby pooping at the baby shower. So we got all this. But again, it goes back to the
baby ain't even born yet.
But it goes back to the main point. Women want men to show vulnerability. But hey, and all of us have been in love at some point. And the saying is true. You know what makes us weak? Falling in love, because it makes us weak. So now we got this weakness, and you exploit it. You exploit it for a baby shower. Now, should he have threatened to throw her clothes off? See, hey, he could have threatened to burn them, but he had his facility. He just gonna sit him outside. Doug say he gonna put them on the grass, then cut the grass. But he know he want her gone. And that's what they should be, because at that point, to me, there's nothing to get around. There's nothing for us to talk about, because you told me that your your coworker's baby shower. Really?
And D, hold up. Trina just said something. This is something I was hoping that a sister would say something like this. She was like, as far as I'm concerned, texting went too long. Soon as Bay said he was hurting, I'm picking up the phone. Mine will never have to express that thought through a text and not hear my consoling voice. He had been trying to call. Didn't they say he tried to call her like 3 times? And she never even responded. See, that's the type of response that that you have an expectation of somebody that you're in a relationship with.
Send Armina the link, man. I need to talk to
that's domestic abuse, Robert.
Now, I believe she's just playing, man. She got to be just playing with us. I got to see how she looking when she's saying what she's saying. She got to be 16 years old or something.
No, she's not. Me and Amina went to college together, so I know she's not that young.
Well, Roy, you got the 16-year-old mind of a 16-year-old. Come on the show, Amina. Show your face.
I'm trying to find out where y'all find these stories.
You can find stories. You can find stories anywhere. That's why I inbox you stuff, because you be watching CNN too long.
You got too much time.
And I tell people that, hey man, it ain't my fault that I'm retired. I ain't got to do.
I was about to say he retired. Yeah, he can do that.
But this is where when I wanted to get on here and we talk about why men do certain things, and I will say this: men are probably worse at it. Once we get hurt, it take a lot more for us to open up, because we remember that hurt, because hurt hurts us deeper. Yeah, and y'all old like me. Y'all know the blood. What is it? The Bloodstone song. Where the man cry, he go to his mama, and she say, "Go on and cry, my son," because she don't judge him. Most of us don't want to cry in front of certain women because we know that she's gonna be judgmental. And I'm gonna speak for Robert, because I bet Robert can cry in front of his wife. I can cry in front of Trina, and I ain't got to worry about be like, "Yo, suck it up and get over it." Ain't none of that going on. Why you crying? If I start crying now, I bet Trina ain't even gonna ask me why I'm crying till she see the tears slow down. She ain't gonna sit there, because she know whatever it is, something bothered me. She gonna play her role. She gonna let me cry. If I feel the need to go to sleep, she gonna let me go to sleep. But she not finna play interrogations or tell me, "Oh, I need for you to stop crying because I need to go cook." I could be hungry as shit, but I guarantee you, she ain't finna tell me she need to go cook. Now, unless the baby needs something, and I'm gonna understand that the baby needs something. But other than that, there's nothing for us to negotiate on, period. Because at that point, you're challenging me to be a simp now. And that's all you're doing. Because now you want me to respond to you, and we having fun with you, but the minute I stop what I'm doing in this out-of-state tournament and jump on the plane, it ain't even about tit for tat. I just showed you how important you were to me. Now, when it's reversed, and I don't think he was being petty. He just gave her an example, something to think about while she was at that party. Now, is that a guilt trip? That's what we see because we're not emotional in that moment. But when you're emotional in a moment and somebody challenges you, like I say, when we have emotional fights, Robert ain't gonna tell me that when him and his wife fought, he ain't never said nothing that he knew he shouldn't have said. Or that she said something because that's what we do sometimes when we hurt. Because what they say, hurt people. But the thing is, you got to know the pattern. Because if you know that's what people do, you can get over certain things in an argument, but you don't get over certain actions. You don't get over certain actions. Robert said when he came to Alabama, when one of our players died, I bet his wife one time about where you going this time of morning. Oh, call me or send me. We didn't have MapQuest back then, or put this on your phone so I can follow you. Because that ain't that. Once you start doing that, you doing all kind of other crazy shit. So the whole point is about what men will do, and I see people dogging the man. So he was being a Mitch. He was doing this. Really, a friend. He
ain't never put his stamp on her in the first place. Cause he put his stamp on her, she would have left. She would have called about two hour in, baby. What you doing?
And the thing is, where I'm gonna give him what somebody said something. If I'm gonna judge him, he been too soft for her, and that's why she feel like she can do it. Because once you're in a relationship, y'all know the boundaries, y'all know what is and what ain't. Ernest can't come out and say he playing cards and his woman call and he be like, babe, I got to win a hand and it's $1,000 on the table. Can you wait 20 more minutes? I'm gonna speak for Ernest because he gonna say the right thing because she probably right there. Oh, Future Jen's calling you. he running. All right, go do your thing. But when you want a real man, and we watching all these things that women talk about they want in a man, but as soon as you get them, you dog us out. Guess what? Survival is the most basic of instincts. And you know what? We're gonna protect more so than our family, our feelings. So then you get this stone cold dude, and you be like, you don't never tell me what's going on, because when I told you, told me that you gave me the big finger. So yeah, I ain't telling you nothing. Oh, you closed me out, but look at what you did, and it's our fault because we should have left. But this is that whole thing when all these women now, not all of them, but the bulk of them now saying they want a man who gonna show some emotions. They want a man who gonna show some sensitivity. But if that's gonna get us screwed over, what's the benefit? What's the benefit?
No, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen, and this is the statement that I make all the time, because one of the things that I hate to hear people say is, oh, she's not letting him be a man, or oh, the women he would not. I said, let me explain something to you. You can't let a man be what he is. The difference is he either gonna be it with you or he gonna be it with somebody else. So if you start acting a certain way, like D said, that's one of the things. Like, and I will say this. If you have a man that likes conflict, you're going to have an issue. That man is either narcissistic, that man is either abusive or something. Most men, we don't want no conflict in life. Most normal people don't want conflict in life. Nobody wants to sit there and argue with somebody all day. Nobody wants to feel like the person that I'm laying next to does not have my best interest at heart every night. You know, that would be insane to literally sit there and do that. And men more so, because see, women, for the most part, you guys are nurturers by virtue of your nature, of who you are. The fact that you carry children for 9 years or 9 months, y'all are nurturers. So yes, you are going to deal with emotions different than what we did. And Darren, I don't know if we remember this. I want to say that we talked about it once before. There is scientific proof. Women have 33 chemicals in their brains that process or deal with emotions. They have to deal with a minimum of 75% of those emotions every time they deal with something. And that's why women are so much more emotional than men. Guess how many chemicals men have in their brains on normal basis that regulate emotions? Take a guess. Robert, Ariel, and D, I want to see if D, I don't know if you remember. How many chemicals do you think men actually, and people in the thing too? Yeah, I said 9 years wrong. I meant 9 months. But how many chemicals do you actually think men have in their brains that regulate emotions for us? D, what I'm going to get y'all 2 answers first.
I don't know, 10.
Ariel, what about you?
1.
Dude, we have 3. I'm
closer to you.
Yeah. There are 3 chemicals in the male brain on average that regulate emotion, compared to 33 in a woman's brain. That's why 2 dudes can have a knockdown, drag out fight today, and 3 days from now they're hanging at the sports bar eating pickles and stuff again together.
So she had 33 chemicals, and none of them told her to
Hey,
See that? You just made it worse for her, man.
Cause one of them was her pheromones was acting up. That's why she couldn't leave. But that's a whole nother issue. So yeah, we're gonna slide on over to the next because I got 3 or 4 topics that I want us to talk about. So, Roy, you got the picture ready yet?
Which one are we going to next?
I just sent you an inbox. Now I want you to put the picture up that you just had with the son laying on the chest.
Oh, Smokey's picture. Yeah, because this is one of the ones that I definitely wanted to talk about
Right,
too.
so I think Ernest gone and Lyle still driving. Lyle, can you see, or did you mute your phone?
He just
So
muted.
then
He's
you
still
got,
there.
man.
He's still here.
I'm gonna
He's
take
just
over
muted.
your show like you take over mine.
Whatever. We're gonna talk about your show in a minute. All right. So put the picture up right quick.
It is.
And
Don't you see it?
yeah, okay, I see it now. You see the picture, Robert?
Yeah.
Okay. So and I know Robert got a son. Like I said, I know Lyle has one, but he ain't there. Roy got a son. I got a son.
Here you go. I'm here.
Okay.
I got 5 sons, man.
I'm trying to look at the picture though.
Okay. Well, the pictures of a son laying on his dad's chest.
That's Smokey. Yeah, Smokey Norfolk and his 16-year-old son came and laid on his chest while he was laying on the couch.
Okay. All right. So the question is, how do y'all feel about y'all 16-year-old son laying on your chest? Robert?
I want to go last on this one. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think I think they have a close bond, man. You know, I mean,
not they. How do you feel about it, Robert?
How do I feel about it?
Yes. How do you feel about it?
I don't really have an opinion of that. I mean, that's how they roll. You know what I'm saying?
Quit saying they. Could Lil Nas come lay on your chest at 16?
Yeah. It depends on if he's feeling bad about something. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I think too often, I think as especially black men, I think we kind of like we look at that like we sissify him or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But
go ahead.
But what how he rock it? That's how he rock it. You know what I'm saying?
RL, I think what he tried to say is, would you do that?
One man will do, another man might not do. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But I want your opinion, not about them. We want your personal opinion.
Well, my personal opinion, I wouldn't do it. You know why I wouldn't do it? Because I never had a father in my life who probably loved me like that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I can't speak on how they feeling at that moment because I never had a father like that. I don't even think my father said I love you. You know what I'm saying? We just lived our life. You know what I'm saying? So
well, you was bad, so you know that you know.
No, you know what I'm saying? I'm just
giving you a hard time.
My father was never in my life. Right. Like Smokey's son, like their relationship are. Then my stepfather, you know, of course, you know, we disconnected anyway. So I really can't have an opinion on that because I don't know what they feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But knowing what I know, I never knew that type of love, a man for his son. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And looking back in hindsight, I wish I was more emotionally in tune with my boys. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Loud, can you see the picture?
I think he saw it. But he put his stuff back on mute and stuff again.
All right. Now, and again, this is why this is a personal thing. And as Robert said, a lot of this is how we grow up. I would tell you, from my perspective, I would say no. My 6-year-old son laying on me, I don't get it. And I'm close to my sons. But at 16, and I asked him the same question. When is he too old to sleep in the bed with you? Because if he's sad, he still can't come sleep in the bed with me and my wife. There's some things that I believe you still got to put a cap on. But I believe the same things for my 16-year-old daughter.
But see, he's not sleeping in the bed with him.
No. I'm just giving an example.
We don't know what that moment was about.
But that's why I said it ain't about him. It's about what we think. Because I don't want to judge that moment. But if my 16-year-old daughter came home and had a bad day, if she's that bad, I will sleep on the sofa and let her and her mom sleep together. I just don't think that at a certain age, kids should not be allowed to lay. That is for me. And that's why I said, what do we think? I don't judge no man that does it because you have to know their relationship. But for me, it's like I was telling somebody else about kissing. You know, mothers kiss all their kids on the lips. Dads generically don't. We do forehead kisses. Some dads do kisses on the lips. I don't judge the dad. I don't do it. And this is a thing where we can't judge other people, but we can still have our own opinion. because, you know, and like I say, hell, the reason mom stopped kissing us is because we won't let them anymore because we don't want it. And Robert said the same. I'm gonna say, you know, we didn't have a close relationship with our dad, so being kissed was probably never a real option. But I kissed my boys up until a certain age because one, they don't want their mama kissing. So even though I love them, if the kissing made them more uncomfortable, at a certain point, it made me uncomfortable. But that was how I grew up. You can't make me change the way I feel. Now you can say what you think, but and it's like women saying, here we go with breaking the cycle. Then you go back to the first picture. If the man is being sensitive and showing his sensitive side, then he gets slapped for it. You can't have it both ways. We can't be sometimes sensitive. It's either who we are or it's who we gotta hide. So if I can't call you in a time of need, you can't think that I'm gonna be that close to my son, because if we're together, you're showing me that I can't let him be soft because you're gonna treat him just like you treated me. And that's where women have to understand how they create the cycle. It ain't about men breaking it no more, because Robert from the hood, DVP from the hood, Roy from the hood, we learn from how women treat us. Once they make something acceptable, we're okay with doing it. But if they challenge us for it, we don't want to fight about everything. So we learn to keep up that stern behavior, because that's what y'all are teaching us.
Loud ready now.
Check it. Yeah, I'm ready. Man, so I got a couple of views on it. You know, like I said, I got two sons. And at the age of 16, and then we only gonna go at the moment, depending on what they were going through, right? Yeah, my son could lay his head on my chest. You know, I talk to him, I console him, and then we try to address the problem. That wouldn't be me for me, because I'm a man and I got more going on. That wouldn't be my only way of comforting him. You know, sometimes you come to your mom, all you need is a hug, and everything gonna be better. You know, I'm your dad. I'm gonna give you a hug, and I'm gonna give you that embrace, because I'm not too manly and I don't push that away. I think that should be embraced. But then we're gonna have a conversation. We're gonna see what's troubling you, what's bothering you, whatever like that. I understand what y'all was talking about ages with daughters and things like that. I'm gonna tell you what this. Because this world is so freaking crazy, man, and you see fathers doing insane things. Me and my daughter are close, and, you know, she loves her dad and all that. But I let my wife handle all of that. I didn't ever want there to be a questionable situation or anything like that. You know, I knew how I was, and I love my daughter and things like that. And so, like, I keep those lines clear. I don't think that was a bad thing. And it was, like we said, we don't know all the ins and outs for, you know, a period of time or how they was chilling, you know, all that kind of stuff. Secondly, the kissing thing. I didn't grow up with it a lot. Kissed my mom, and I ain't had no dad around. But when I met my other side of my family, I was like 19 and 20. I was still impressionable. Everybody kissed everybody in the lip, and it was just the way they did. You know, mom, grandma, whatever. You know, and that's what it is. Now, as I am grown right now, 57, and my son is 37. My oldest son, he left, had his good job and all that stuff, and I haven't been around. So usually when I see him, I kiss him on the cheek. But it's kind of like, when I'm hugging them and you close to their ear, it's just a little something between me. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even about the outwardly show affection, but it's just something between me and him, because he's my son and I don't have no problem with it, and he don't either. You know, he never said like, or jerked back like dad. That was just our kind of connection, because I'm close to my middle son and my daughter's still at home. But, you know, that was something for me to connect with him and let him know that I love him deeply, even though he ain't the one I'm with all the time and playing ball with and all that kind of stuff. So that's where I'm at on all points of that, bro. Okay. And I just want to say, Ernest gone, right? I'm at the house of Miss Paula G, the voice. I think I sent y'all her.
Yeah, you sent the flyer.
She does podcasts and all that great stuff.
Hey, Paula, how you doing?
Oh God! Somebody saw your picture and say, "Hey, Paula, look, I need to take her off my phone off so I can get you on speaker."
And let me just say this. We keep we keep changing the narrative. This is not about a hug. This is not about a kiss. He is laying on him. Quit changing the whole narrative. Roy, put the picture back up. No, I ain't talking about you now. I'm talking about people who are commenting. Put the picture back up, Roy. He is laying on him. Don't keep changing the narrative because you want it to fit. When is it okay for a 16-year-old boy to lay on his dad? Not hug, not show emotions, none of that what y'all talking about, because we've expressed the fact that we will show emotion. But that is a laying, and he is 16. He ain't 5. He ain't 6. He's 16.
It varies from person to person. You don't know.
No, but I'm saying they keep saying hug, and I want them to get away from hug, because this is not just a hug.
So let me jump in on this, because and D, I am going to bring in some of the other stuff that you're talking about, but it goes into context. with the picture. Like most of y'all, I didn't grow up laying on my dad. I didn't grow up hugging my daddy. You know, I remember vividly from the age of 6 dapping my daddy up when I'm walking away from him. You know, and being away. See, this is part of the whole thing I was talking about earlier when I was saying the conditioning that we are doing for young black men. So my son is the youngest of my children, right? I have 2 girls who are both daddy's girls. So that position that he's in, sitting in the corner of my couch, their brother grew up watching them jump up on me and fighting for space next to me on the couch, just to lay on me to watch TV and stuff. What type of father would I have been if, when he got to that point and he wanted to do that, that I pushed him away like, no, boy, you can't do that, because that wasn't the deal. My son, by the time my son got to, I'll say 14 or 15, we were still doing it when he would come to visit, because me and his mom got divorced, and so we split up when he was about 10, I think. But when we got divorced and he would come to visit me at 14, my son would do that all the time. I absolutely have no problem with that, because that's the type of emotion, that's the type of affection that I showed for him. I kissed my son on the forehead or on the cheek up until the point, on the forehead up until the point through high school. I openly kiss my son on the cheek whenever I'm hugging him and saying goodbye to him. The issue is that even people if anybody has a problem with this, that shows the conditioning that we all still have. Because see, just like I would rather somebody say what RL said. RL said, I don't have a reference point for that because that wasn't in me. But he didn't look at that and be like, oh, that's one of them soft Negroes over there. You can't be fucking with him. You know, he can't. That's the type of response that we need as black men. To when we see something like that if we don't agree with it. My son can be 25 years old. We don't know what's going on. This was just him laying in the living room. He says it in the post. All he was doing was laying there, and his son came up to him and just sat down, and he did what he was custom or comfortable doing with his father. And at 16, 16 is still a child. We gotta stop making it like when these kids get to 20 and 25 that they are grown adults. You know how much growing people have done from 20 to 35 in life? There is still so much more he is a child, and that is his father. My son we've done that. We've got pictures of stuff. Well, I don't know if I got them. My daughters may have them in their phones or whatever. But we've done that, and that's the type of thing that we need to encourage, because again, our boys need to get to the point where they understand what it is to be able to express your emotions, just not be controlled by your emotions. And that's where we as men have to step up in that. But for people to have a negative opinion of this man for doing this says that shows the dysfunction that we have as a culture. Like I said, RL had the best comment on it.
I think men who have a problem with that, they never had that relationship with their father. So they don't understand it. So that's what I'm saying. I never had that relationship with my father. I can't speak on it because I don't understand that relationship. I don't understand the relationship because I never had that relationship with my father.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And another point is, you know why we won't do it? Because of the previous post. Because if we get our boys used to doing this and they end up dating that chick, it's gonna come back to haunt us. It ain't just a male cycle. Women have to be co-participants in this, because if we're rearing children, this woman who already telling this man he ain't important, what you think she gonna do if she was dating this young boy? She'd be like, oh, you hugging your dad? Because this is a whole cycle. We can't just blame it on what we didn't do. And that's why I took it away from him to make it us. Because I don't have time to judge any man for what he does with his children, because that's how he grew up. But remember the one with the dad taking the bath with the daughter, and people was going crazy. Now, that's the dad. So why can't a dad take a bath with his daughter? They worry about whether or not he got pants on.
How old she was?
She was still a little baby.
Oh,
but I'm saying,
he shouldn't take no bath with a 16-year-old dog.
Right, but again, if that's his daughter, why not?
No, Darren. Darren, hold on, real quick. To that point, before you let me add this in there, because Amita just made a point. The biggest problem that we have with this is that we're over sexualizing our children. That's the biggest problem we have in this situation. So my bad.
But that ain't it, because we know. See, and people keep saying that, but if we know what sex trafficking is. We wanna ignore sex trafficking. That's how our kids keep getting
No,
caught
I
up
said
in it.
sexualizing.
You're right, but that's what sex trafficking is. They're sexualizing these kids because we try to act like it don't exist. See, so us being ignorant and not telling our kids about it. When they had a sex trafficking class in Douglas County, I sent Trina and my daughter because they need to know, because most parents won't talk about it. You know what sex trafficking is one of the number one crimes? Atlanta. And we keep talking about, we can't. Yes, we do. We have to let these kids know that everybody ain't doing stuff innocently. So I hate when people say we're over sexualizing kids, because there's a whole market out there for that. Look at all these people who going to jail for kiddie porn. They're sexualizing children. We can't let our kids be ignorant to those things, because it affects us, because we either want to err on the side of safety or love. And you pick, because you can't do both. You can't do both. Because now who do we tell them who to hug? I mean, we got rules about whether it's a dad, whether it's a stepdad, whether it's another kind of dad. We got rules about whether it's dad, whether it's an uncle. Whether you get love from a man or not, at what point where do we start? It's just about conversation, but it's a cycle. We have to have the women. We have to have the women's contribution to this. We have to understand that we have to stop judging each other. Like I said, what Robert do ain't got to work for me. I ain't gonna judge Robert, because if it worked for him and his family, all I can do is say kudos. And if what I do work for me and my family, Robert got to say kudos. It ain't what one or another would do, but it's what we do, because everybody's different.
That's why I say I don't have an opinion of how him and his son rock. Cause I never had that relationship with my sons. My dad never had it with me. Maybe if my dad had a relationship with me like that, I would have, incorporated to my relationship with my sons. You know what I'm saying?
And see that, but see, Robert,
and not your opinion of the picture. I wanted your opinion about because, and for those of y'all that don't know, his son is Lil Nas. I'm sorry, Lil Nas X. Grammy award winning, record setting, yada yada yada. I'm gonna let Robert talk about him, because he can say more than I can.
And he came out gay, and I raised him.
So and it's like, where is the line? So from, and I'm glad you said that, but from Robert's standpoint, he deal with a little bit more, because certain people want to hate because of that when they don't know the situation or anything. Because if you can have a gay son who's setting records and getting Grammys and shit, most of us gonna go for that. But do you stop loving him because of that? Do you stop? And that's the point. What works for him, but it ain't for none of us to judge. Hell, he'd rather have a gay son than a bank robbing son, I'm sure, because most of us would. But we have to stop acting like things don't exist outside of our regular window and feeling the need to judge people because they do something that we don't do. And that's our biggest problem. Not over sexualization, but judging people for, I would never do that. I wouldn't. Hell, I know people who kiss their grown kids.
Yeah.
I got a friend, one of my good friends. I hate seeing him. I love the dude to death, but every time he see me, I know he gonna kiss me. I hate that, but it's his showing that we cool as a fan. I still hate it, but I know where it's coming from. I'm not used to it. Me and Robert are at a whole different place now. We better friends now than we was when we playing football. I wouldn't kiss Robert. I'd give him a pound. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna punch him and talk shit. But my friend, I got two friends who every time they see me, they kiss me. And all I be hoping is, man, I hope ain't nobody filming this. But I know that's what they gonna do. I don't take it as gay. I don't take it as anything. I don't take it as them challenging my masculinity. Because we'll say we love each other, which is something that most of us had to get past.
But you've been knowing that dude for a long time then, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've been knowing him almost, 30 years.
Right.
Oh, yes.
And see,
but
Robert, like you said.
That we have, because at one point, it wasn't cool for us to say I love you, boys,
right?
Because it was a stigma. So, and that's the thing. We got to quit judging other people. What works for you? Because it don't work for me don't mean nobody should ever do it. One of my sons with special needs, I was way more affectionate with him than I was with my son who wasn't special needs. He needed that. I acquiesced to that. But my other son who was hyper macho, he didn't need that same thing. He wasn't that same guy. We did a lot of stuff together. We talked, we fought, we wrestled, we did all kind of stuff together. I took him to the strip club. I would never take my other son to a strip club. He doesn't have the same mentality. My special needs son is one of affection and needing to be touched.
Yeah.
But one of his friends kissed him and he got suspended because he hit him. I don't know where it came from because he never hit me. But but that, you know, what we do with each kid is how we are, and we can't. How many boys? Robert said he got 5 boys, and he didn't raise all of them the same because they weren't all the same.
And D, and to jump in on that piece real quick, Robert, what you said, my situation was just the opposite from yours. Because I didn't get that with my daddy, I wanted to make sure that my son, again, coming up after seeing how affectionate, because it would have been wrong for me to be as affectionate as I was with his sisters and not give him that same type of love. Because at that point, we start showing our children that we love them differently. So because I didn't get it, that's why I did it with my son. That's why I like. And the funny part is now when we go see my daddy now, when me and my grandson see him now, we hug my daddy and we kiss him on the cheek. See, that's something he wasn't used to. He didn't get that before because I didn't get it. But now that we're older and we can initiate and do that kind of stuff, we do it to him, and he's receptive to it. So.
And like I said, and that's all. And the thing is, my general point was we got to stop judging people for things we don't do because we don't know what worked for them. Like I say, all our kids are different. Some kids respond to punishment. Some kids respond to praise. Some kids respond to hugs. You can't have a general thread. And that's why I say, don't judge what you see from other people. Just say whether or not it will work for you. And hell, sometimes we try stuff, sometimes we don't. But and this is all I wanted to say, because like I say, we're all different types of men. We all got different types of kids. I ain't never had to raise a gay son. When did you know he was gay, Robert? If you don't mind.
Well, I can't say when did it ain't a certain point, you know, but I knew before he came out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you know when he was like 10?
No, definitely. I definitely didn't see it at 10.
Okay.
I didn't see it till like later in the high school years. I kept seeing different mannerisms that, you know what I'm saying? That was alarming. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of like, you know, I pass it off as just, maybe just held his hand like that because he was tired. You know what I'm saying?
Right. He's just going through something.
Yeah, not going through something, just, you know, maybe just, you know, sometimes you might catch yourself putting your hand on your hip. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But it was something that we didn't know, so he couldn't respond to it from a point of knowledge. And hell, he probably didn't have nobody to ask. So, and that's what we gotta learn. And
we're gonna do it 1-on-1 one day. So
I've been trying to get you.
I ain't gonna tell everything on your show.
I've been trying to get him on the show for 2 years, but he's been ignoring me and live right around the corner. But I ain't gonna say nothing about all that.
But so, you know, that's even that kind of stuff, man, is interesting. And that's one of the things that I've gotten into that I'm really big on. And this goes back to the over-sexualizing our children. I think one of the challenges that we have, especially in the black community, because see, one of the things about me growing up, I was a very different child growing up. You know, because I'm like 13 years older than my closest sibling. Well, the closest sibling I ever lived with was 13 years younger than me. I have a sister that's 7 years younger than me, but we didn't live together. So I grew up almost like an only child for the most part. And I had a lot of interest that people were looking at certain things. And I think we put children's interest, which is complete. We put gender roles on children's interest, which is completely wrong. And we got to stop doing stuff like that. Like, I was into fashion. I was literally, you know, I wanted to be in the modeling and do all this kind of stuff. But it's a group of people in the family who's like, oh, you can't do that. That boy gonna mess around and be gay. I'm like, why I gotta be gay? Just because I like that. And I think those are the types of things that we do. And we force those beliefs on the children when we do it. If your 7-year-old son be like, Daddy, I like modeling, like, okay, well, let me go introduce you. Let me show you some of these pictures. Let me show you some of this. Get engaged with them in the things that they like. And then don't put the roles on them, because I mean, your son could grow up and be the next Ralph Lauren. He like fashion design, but you don't want to put him in there because you're like, oh, that's stuff for girls. You know, we have to stop assigning gender roles to things that children are doing, because by nature, children are curious. They're gonna gravitate to certain things. And the stuff that we do now, listen, am I one of these people that talk about that, like they got the transgender people doing story time and they doing pole dancing classes in a 3rd grade class? Hell no, that ain't nothing that you need to be doing. Because the children don't need to be talking about sex anyway, outside of learning what the reproductive process is. But you know, we're dropping too many gender roles on our kids, and it's forcing them to feel a certain kind of way about themselves. And right? Like I say,
that's what we know. We go under stress. We go to what we know, and most of us want our kids to be a certain way, and we take a lot from them. We don't allow them to be them. I mean, and even one of my sons is in prison right now. And I gave him some advice, and at a certain point, I had to let him understand because we talked about this before. Pain is the greatest teacher of anything. And as much as I didn't want him to go to prison, as a cop, I had to tell him, hey, man, I'm looking at your report. I know based on what you said you didn't do it, but as a cop, your report says you're guilty. I seen an interview from your friend who did it. Your friend is not saying that you were not a part of this. You can go for a jury trial, and I will help support you. But honestly speaking, you're gonna get convicted. Now, the dad part of me wanted to tell him to fight and be strong and stand up for what's right and what's wrong. But as a cop looking at that report, looking at all the witness statements, you can't get out of this, player. You can't. And I feel bad for you. And that's one of them times, where do you base reality versus your emotional input? And when we start talking about gay kids, whatever kind of kids, if you don't have a point of reference to go look back at, what do? Most of us are too afraid to step outside the box and research, and we don't have a clue. And some of us want to be liked so bad, and we don't want our kids to be judged because we think it's a failure on us because we put too much emphasis in what people think about us. And I always bring up me and Trina. Me and Trina do a lot of unconventional shit. But we don't care what people think. The relationship only has to work for us. Robert is my boy. We cool. We talk a lot of trash. Robert, like Lyle, is a God-loving guy. I would never knock them for that. Never. I don't do it. But that's what works for me. And what we have to learn to do is let everybody do what works for them and not try to keep imposing our will on other people because you got to be normal like me or you being brainwashed by this, because we love to start calling people names when they don't do what we do, and we can't just accept them for what they are. I mean, hell, when I went to play football with them, they knew I was a cop, and I ain't gonna knock them all, but most of them should have had no dealings with cops based on the general perception of the team. Now, Robert would tell you all of them weren't convicts, but what was the general perception of the team? And that's what people do. We get a perception, we put our blinders on, and we want everybody to act a certain way. We have to stop doing this with kids. We have to stop doing this with each other. We got to stop doing it, period. But more importantly, and I'm going to stick to this, the women that we choose to be in our life have to be our major support system. Because again, and I said this before, if I call Robert crying, and this is what we ain't learned to deal with yet, what do you do for, and Robert, who's a good friend of yours? If Kojak called you crying, how do you console Kojak? We still haven't learned that most of us haven't learned how to deal with that yet. I mean, hell, if a friend called me crying, I'm a basic dude. Let's see, well, we can't go to the strip club. We're going to do pre-COVID. We either going to the strip club, we're going to try to find a girl. We don't know what to do with another crying grown man. We weren't built for that. We want to talk to him, but hell, we don't know what to do with him most of the time because we were never trained how to deal with a crying man. We go to our mother. We go to a woman who offers us strength because it's not politically correct to cry in front of another man unless it's at a funeral. But that's what we got to change. That's what the real men that I hate, that's what we got to step up and become the change. But we need women for that change to take effect and have full effect. And that's why if you pick the wrong woman, she can mess up another whole generation. A whole nother generation, because now she stymied our growth and we don't know what to do. So we stuck repeating the same bad behavior. And that's why I hate when it's like, oh, you learned this from your dad. Well, the women are the one who promote what we do. Because when we do the next picture, most of us would do anything to keep a good woman in our life. So if they agree with some things and they help promote us, if Robert's singing too, we're gonna see if we can get a couple of 8 bars from him. But if his wife was always telling him singing was bad, then Robert would sing and that talent would be lost, because Robert still wants approval from his wife because that's the woman he chose. He don't care what Trina think, but he cares what his wife thinks. So that support system has got to work for him. And ladies, if we choose you for whatever reason, if you want to be her, we need you. We don't want you. We need you to be our support system, because we're gonna have bad days, and we don't want to have to go sit in the car and cry because you're gonna harass us about crying. We don't want to have to call another friend. That's the reason we picked you. Like I'm saying, Robert's married, so he gonna be the resident expert because he been married like he been married more than 2 weeks. I don't know how his wife put up with him all this long. How long you been married, Robert?
Huh?
How long you been married?
Well, actually, I'm separated now.
Oh, my bad. How long? Oh, okay. Let me change the subject then.
All right.
But,
Next picture.
that was uncomfortable.
yeah, I'm listening to you talking like.
Right.
Okay, but you were married.
I was about to text you that, but
see,
you put me on the spot.
He got Metro. He should have
Now you
texted
got
me.
it on national TV. Now you got me on national TV. Put my business out there. You know what I'm
Hey
saying?
man, you started.
Hey, but let's go to this next picture though, cause see, this to me is definitely one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do the next picture.
All right, you ready?
All right.
I'm gonna let you set it up.
All right. So again, this goes into being a good dad. How far would you go to be a great dad? So Rob, we're gonna let you go first since you ain't got no girls. So we're gonna let you go.
I got a daughter.
Okay. All right. Good. You got to see. I'm learning so much about this guy.
I have one daughter. Yeah.
I've been knowing you damn near 20 years, and you old, Robert. Anyway, so how far would you go to be a great dad? Women, because there's a lot of y'all now. Y'all hilarious. Y'all killing me.
What you mean? How far? What
would you do what dude do it in the picture? It's up there. Would you do what dude?
Would you dress like that to make your daughter happy?
I don't see. Let me see. Let me go on your I don't see it.
You got to go. You're on Zoom.
Oh, I see it now.
Would you dress like that to make your daughter happy?
Hell no.
What? You got a daughter, Robert.
You know what I'm saying?
None of the English. None of the English.
That ain't gonna make you happy, baby.
You don't care about her happiness that bad now, Robert.
I don't care about having that bad. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you. You know what I'm saying?
But that is.
Don't take the picture down, Rob. I want people to see this picture. Go ahead, Rob. You got two daughters.
Blow the picture up.
No, don't blow it up. That's too much.
I can't see it, man.
Oh, you saw it because you said hell no. You saw it. Oh, damn, he getting his glasses. Put the picture back up there, Roy.
Blow it up, Roy.
Now don't blow it up.
Make it the big picture. Make it.
That's as wide as I can get it.
Oh, that, right there. Oh man, no.
And he got man boobs. Roy,
dude, ain't no way in hell.
You don't want your daughter to be happy? We
no,
good dads.
see, no. Let me
good dads.
Let me explain something.
Look at his daughter. She has no idea what's going on.
Right.
I know his daughter. His wife requested that.
Thank you.
No, hey, she that same girl from the baby shower.
Yeah.
No woman would ask her man, and no woman who loves you would ask you to do that.
And no man who wife ask him that thinks she got good sense.
Right. And so so here. Oh, go ahead, Lyle.
Hold on. Lyle, I can see the picture. Let's get Lyle.
I can see the picture. Now I do, and Paula's sitting here. We got a woman's opinion here also, but bruh, come on, y'all know I do hair and makeup all day, every day. I love my daughter, and I've been doing my oldest daughter hair since she was about 5 or 6, right?
Right.
I do many things. As me being a teacher and having to teach cosmetology, doing nails and all that, and working at Mac, have I ever had something on my nails, whatever, maybe. But to do full dress like that and take a damn picture, no. If I did that, nobody else would see it.
All right, Lyle, since you got the famous woman there, put on the phone and let her tell us her opinion.
Okay.
Paula G, welcome to the show, Paula G. What's going on with you?
Greetings, gentlemen. How are you?
Oh, we over here having much fun. Can you see the picture?
I can hear. I've been listening. And
no,
yes, I can see the photo. So the question is, repeat the question.
As a good dad, would you do that? Should a good dad do that to make his daughter happy?
A good dad does what makes his daughter happy, but that's classified information.
That's strictly need to know, huh?
That's classified information because there are a lot of dads that have probably donned some lipstick and nail polish and things of that nature. But that's classified information. That's daddy
So,
daughter stuff.
so
And you know what, Paul? I'm glad you, because there is some stuff that we will do, but ain't nobody
Yeah,
taking no pictures. Because then you got to start.
exactly.
You got to do some Mission Impossible stuff. Some people got to die. Some people got to die.
but
You know,
see,
you gonna get all you don't remember
Exactly.
with your eyes. You ain't gonna get. But yeah,
okay, so
Yes,
let
but
me
you know,
jump.
So
I mean,
so so we
that's
went so we
that's
went
what.
from we went from sitting at the tea set drinking tea with a little plastic teacup with our
Thank
daughter
you.
to this.
See,
Yes,
that's what I was about to say.
teacups. You all know you did that with the little teacups, with the little
Yeah, that's
teacups,
different.
and
Yeah,
the
And
teddy bear, and
not even just teacups, letting them play
might
with the
have been
little
a little
makeup.
lipstick, might
Right,
have
you
been a
let them
little
play with
nail
the little
polish.
makeup. Let me say something. And like I said, you talking to a dad who is the dad who is a dad girl dad. I got two
Yeah,
daddy's girls. Like my girls
yeah,
to this day will tell you that they know that they daddy's girls. And we
yeah.
did all this stuff, but there is absolutely no way in hell that I'm gonna dress up like this and not forget take pictures. I'm just not gonna do it. That there is nothing about to me, and this is so when I talked about gender roles a little earlier,
Hmm.
there is still some points that you have to get to. I am a
And that's a good
grown
point.
ass man.
Yeah,
And if my daughter wants to have a
yeah.
princess theme for her party,
Hmm.
guess who I'm gonna
Hmm.
be for the party? Damn it, I'm gonna be the king. I'm gonna come
Right.
in with the crown. I may even
Hmm.
have on a pink and yellow
Hmm.
vest and shirt set. Some I am not dressing up in no damn dress, no tutu. And look, he got on a damn tube top.
and he got man boobs. And he got
But you
man
do
boobs. Don't
raise,
ignore that.
yeah, but you do raise a good point about the the gender roles, not judging anyone or anything of that nature. But you do raise a good point. You all were talking earlier about sex trafficking and so forth, and I'm a former school counselor, and at the beginning of each year, we would have trainings on the profiles of sex traffickers and that sort of thing. And there was one training where the presenter was sharing with us how the FBI had captured a gentleman that was over the sex trafficking ring. And in the process of interrogating him, the FBI agent asked him, "How do you get these girls?" And the agent said, I mean, not the agent, the FBI, the sex trafficker. We're out in the malls, we're out and about. We see these girls, we start talking to them, we start complimenting them. He said, if they go for it, if they fall for all that complimenting, we know we've got them. But if they don't, we leave them alone. And the
Ex-
FBI agent asked them why. And they said, because that says that there's a man, a husband, I mean, not a husband, father, godfather, uncle, someone of that nature has already validated that young lady,
exactly.
has already told her how beautiful she is, has already validated her to the point that she's not going to fall for somebody walking up to her in the mall and telling her how beautiful she is or how wonderful she is, because dad has already poured that
That's
into
right.
her. And I think as fathers, I applaud you all for pouring into your daughters, letting your daughters know how beautiful they are and how wonderful they are, because when they have that foundation and that validation from dad, no joker's going to come along and tell them anything that they have not already heard, because dad has poured that into them already. The date nights with your daughter, things of that nature. Dads do that, validating their daughters. They don't have to worry about their daughters being lured by
Yep.
sex traffickers or anybody else.
I was the
And
first one to tell
she's
my
so
daughters that
right.
they were beautiful.
I
They were
took I
used
took
to it.
my I took my 6-year-old to a father daughter dance, and
Hmm.
I dressed like a man
Yes,
because to me it's my role to show her what men do.
the
So
date
that when
nights,
That's
she
all
right.
runs
that. Yeah.
across a man, she knows
Hmm.
when she sees it, and and a lot of this, it sucks, but a lot of things I know and I do because I was a cop, and I've talked to a bunch
Hmm.
of predators, which is why
Yeah.
when the lady was like, we over sexualize, no, we under sexualize our kids. We don't
Hmm.
set them up for predators, and we have to do a better job of that, because even though the bulk of the market is white women, black girls are easy to get.
Yeah.
They're easy to get. All you gotta do is go down to Greyhound bus station. They're easy
Hmm.
because of their confidence, and a
Hmm.
lot of that is, and it's, you don't have to be a dad for this. You just have to be a good dude and know
Hmm.
girl children and have a conversation with them. And we talked
Right.
about that last show. But this is what we got to do a better job of.
And
And
to
ladies, we need your help. And we had a conversation with one of my daughters, and she's 16, and her friend mom got a new boyfriend. Somehow he happened into her room and pulled her out the bed. And I'm thinking, how the fuck does that happen?
Right.
She my daughter in my house, before I go in her room, I knock on the door. I knock several times to make sure she's my daughter. Even though she's my daughter, she's 16. I want her to be dressed. I don't care about the titles. I want her to be dressed.
Right.
On someone who ain't got to be dressed. Hey, we getting to the point now where my 6-year-old knows she needs to be dressed when she comes out, because we want her to understand that standard. Because dudes are still dudes. You can't go around like this, and we don't want to tempt nobody. But this is something that has to be repeated by the team. By the team.
Setting those standards, and that's so true. Is setting those standards for them, when other males approach them, and also setting those standards for them when they're out at night by themselves, things of that nature. Them being aware. If you have got teenage daughters and they're walking from the mall to their car, checking around the car before they get into the car. It's just all of those little things that little things and big things that dads can do to pour into their daughters to help protect their daughters, because as you said, there's a lot out there. So,
D, let me jump in there real quick.
Y'all keep doing what you're doing. I'm gonna tap out of this man cave conversation, but I appreciate you.
Well, it's man cave, but we need the ladies.
I'm gonna talk to you again, Paula G, because I got some information for you. So I'm gonna make sure me and Lau put me and you in touch.
All right, love. Thank you.
Take care, Paula G.
About Miss Paula, she does a lot of on the air stuff, and I know you got this production company, so we'll try to get you guys connected. All right.
Make sure she see me waving.
Oh, look. Hey, Ron.
So here's the thing, and it's funny she says that. So I'm gonna give you an example, and you've seen this before. We've talked about it. My daughter came here in 2016 to go to Georgia State for school, and even when I was in Athens, there was part of the time where she would be walking from class. Because she is such a dad girl, she knew that she had to call me whenever she was leaving class to walk to her car. So I don't care what I was doing. I could be in a meeting, I could be in a show. I'm gonna sit on the phone with her while she's making her way to her car. My daughter is getting ready to graduate. Last month, she is 24 years old, grown woman at work. She's in the manager training program for CVS. She calls me up, and she was like, "Daddy, are you going to be up tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to be up." Why? She was like, "Well, they didn't schedule anybody to work with me overnight here at the CVS, and I want to be able to call you if something go wrong." And I'm sitting up here like, first thought was like, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. I'm going to stay up. We got off the phone. Literally 30 seconds later, my first thought was, the hell she going to do calling me, and I'm 20 minutes away from her. So guess what I did? I got in my truck and drove over to CVS. She was calling me back to say, oh, my manager said that she going to have somebody in here at 3 o'clock. Damn it, I was pulling into the parking lot at that point. Already there, because I've worked overnight before. I know they've had issues at her space before. I know what that situation is like. CVS is not like working at 7-Eleven. They don't have no cages. That shit's wide open. So I was not going to let my daughter be in that space by herself all night. And her manager ended up falling asleep and not even showing up until 6 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, I worked the whole damn shift that night, sitting in the parking lot, watching motherfuckers come in and out the store. Right, but that's what we do for daughters. That's what a daughter needs to know. That Darren, when you talk about expectations, that's what a daughter needs to know that a dad will do for them.
And I'm gonna say this because I shared a post a while ago, and it ain't even about just daughters. A lady shared a post that she was out running at a track one night, and it started raining. She said it was 6 black men out there practicing soccer or whatever. And she said it started getting dark. And she said the 6 men waited on her till she got finished because they didn't want to leave her out there by herself. And she thought that was just so awesome that they waited to make sure she got home before they just left. Because she said they were through and they were just sitting there and she didn't know why until she got through. And then one came over with an umbrella and said, hey, we just want to make sure you get to your car quick. And that's so important that we learn to do it for more than just our family. We need to show, even random women need to know that all men are not badasses. That men look like dudes look like men. But a man is on a totally different level. And I shouldn't only do good for Trina. I should do good for every woman that crosses my path, and so that they understand, that men do things, they don't have to want nothing in return. And that's what we got to get to the point of letting that be the standard. I shouldn't do good for a woman just because she's related to me or just because I want to have sex with her. I should be a man, period. And we talked about this. I may not be her king, but I'm always a gentleman to every woman. And I tell the story, when we went to a dinner one time, some ladies holding the bag. Trina made them put the bags down and wait for me. And they did it. And they weren't used to that. But Trina knows I'm going to do this. So it ain't a matter of me just being good to Trina. Trina knows I don't like to see older women carrying bags if there's a man present. I don't like to see them doing things. It's sexist, but for most women, it's a good kind of sexist. I mean, there are those that don't like it. And hey, they do what they do. But you can't stop me from being who I am. Now, you can turn down a request. And that's what we have to learn, that we have to promote that theory among us. And, it's crazy, and I love it, and I'm glad Robert is here, because I love to use Soul Patrol, because as thuggish as we were, as thuggish as they were, they had gentlemen, because they still took care of the women. They still always took care of the women, and the women in return took good care of us. They made sure we didn't want nothing during the games, but we didn't make them do nothing. We didn't let them go nowhere by themselves. They were always protected. Yeah, we stop a game if somebody start talking trash to the women, and that was just how the collective was. We have to get back to that as men, and we have to get back to understanding that we can be great, period, regardless of who the woman is. I stopped one day and helped a strange woman change a tire, and she was like, "Can I pay?" And I was like, "Nope," because if my wife had a flat, I would want somebody to stop and change her tire. Keep moving.
That's right.
And she was like, "Well, is there anything I can do for you?" I was like, "You know what? The best thing you can do for me right now is just to say thank you." And she said, "Thank you," and I left. She said, "You ain't even gonna tell me your name?" I said, "It's really not that important." I said, "I'm doing a good deed, and that's it." We don't have to do this later or that later or none of that. And that's what we got to get in the habit of doing, so that when that gentleman shows up, women know how to understand it and not look at all of us like we're suspicious, like what he wants. And like I said, this is why I want to have the show with us, because we all got different ways. There's some things we agree on. There's some things we got variables on. But what we can't do, and again, like I said, Robert, my boy, so he easy. Because I shared all his son's stuff. I think I met him. I know I saw him when he had the picnic.
Share my stuff. Don't worry about him. He good.
You ain't made a song in a minute. I shared your song, but when he had the picnic,
you shared his stuff. You need to share my stuff.
I shared your song.
Hey, he got the song of the year. I'm trying to get the song of the day.
I shared the one that you shared with me. Don't act. But the point is, even again, Robert's son is not my son, but we're all one. So I want to push everybody, and this is what we have to do. And stop saying, I got to know this person. When I see good posts, I share them. I don't care who it is. And this is what we have to do as men. And it's not gay. It's not weird. It's not any of this. We're helping to promote each other. The sooner we make us have a solid foundation, it's easier to hold us accountable for each other. It's easier for us to run across a good man, because we need to know what to do when a man calls us crying. What do we do? What do we do? It's cute that we shared a post about call me, but as I said before, in a state of depression, depressed people don't call other people. That's just not what they do. But if I call Robert crying, what does Robert know what to do? And this is the thing that we have to learn to deal with and watch other people and try to figure out what works for us. And we have to have these conversations to see, how do we bridge these gaps? How do we bridge these gaps? What happens? And this is a big one. What happens when we have a gay friend who's in need? Because a lot of us are undercover homophobes and we don't know it. But if our gay friend cries on our shoulder, if we're not comfortable, we feel a certain way. And we got to get beyond that if we call this person a friend. What's his name? I can't even think of his name now. Infrared just made a post about when he came out, all the people he thought were close to him who disowned him wouldn't even come to his wedding because he came out as gay, as a 30-year-old man. What happened? Well, they were friends when they thought he was straight, but when they found out he was gay, they just kind of pushed him off to the side. This is something that we have to address and learn how to deal with, because it's not an indictment on us. Hell, Soul Patrol had a gay. What's that dude's name that was twirling the baton? He was fun. That dude was hell with a baton.
you talking about Big Dennis? Yeah.
But we didn't shun him.
Yeah, Big Dennis was cool though, man. But I look. So one thing about me, man, I never treat people who are gay I never have treated people gay differently.
It's because they're stronger than us.
The only difference between gay men and straight men is they have a different sexual preference.
That's it.
But it don't change your life. You know what I'm saying? They still the same person. They just have. I think the problem with a lot of straight men, they think they turned on to you. You know what I'm saying?
They ignorant. They think it's contagious.
No. I think a lot of straight men think the guy like you.
I mean,
try to come on to you.
Right, and they think it's contagious. That's why they don't want to touch them. And you know, and you know, it's the sad part is, and one of my gay friends said it. He's like, you know, girls don't want you. We don't want an ugly dude either. So it's almost an insult for a gay dude to not want you. So it's like, you know, and they can't handle that either.
But gay, I guess gay people are like straight men. A straight man, you don't want every woman.
Right.
You got your eye on two, three women. You try to get to. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why we got to put our testosterone to the side and be good men in general, and then we can make it be the norm. Because it does. You know, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. I like when people say I'm a good father, but I don't take it as a badge. It's my job. I shouldn't be getting kudos for doing what I'm supposed to do. That needs to become the standard with us, where you see more good men and you actually overlook them because it's the norm. We shouldn't be complimenting each other for doing the right thing. That kind of makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. The right thing should be automatic for us, and that's what we got to keep pushing for. I'm almost down to 10 minutes, so I know we got to get out on time. And when we use the post with the tutu, I saw quite a few people saying that you should do anything to make your child happy. And I'm with Robert. Some happiness ain't gonna be. This is life. Sometimes you ain't gonna get your way. If it means I gotta wear a tutu and a halter top and take a picture, oh no.
But at the end of the day, if that worked for him, cool.
That child is 1 year old. That child on that
cool.
That ain't made that child happy. Now his wife wanted that done.
It should have been his ex-wife, but again, that's why we have to let people do what works for them, and you know, and accept that hey, that don't work for me, but if it works, it ain't no different than being poly, being straight, being gay, or whatever somebody else want to do, as long as it don't affect my rent payments. Hey man, have at it. You know, and like I say, it was hell. Am I not gonna like Lil Nas music because he came out as gay? What does his music have to do with his sexual preference? Am I not gonna like Robert because he's saying Christian music? Y'all know I always claim to be the biggest heathen, but I played Robert's song. He just don't follow my page sometimes, but I put his song on Random Thoughts because he's my boy. And I actually did like the song. I ain't going to church with him, but I will play his song and tell people to listen to it because I know there are people who like that kind of music. I know there are people who want that type of music. I can't make them all like what I like. That's selfish, and we got to stop doing that. I mean, hell, he on my show, and he gonna tell about his show. And you know, when I'm on his show, guess what he do? He tell everybody to come watch my show on Wednesday. See, that's what we compete in a fun way to see who's having a better show. We don't compete to see one show get shut down. He want me to have a good show like I want him to have a good show. When he asked me to come on, if I can make it, I try to get there. I asked him, he said, hey, I'm doing this thing. I said, well, you know, you can come late if you want to. Because we're still helping each other.
Even though you take over my show.
That's because you always be challenging me. But so what we're gonna do is, you know, I appreciate everybody. What I want to do is first with Robert. You ready, Robert? Can we get a couple of quick bars of your favorite song now? Because people watching you now.
What song?
I don't know. Any song you want to sing. I don't want to put you on the spot and name a song. You tell me which one
man,
you want.
Don't try to put me on the spot, man, right here, bro.
See, that's what I always say about professional singers sing. You know, they don't need no intro. Give me 8 bars, sir.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, just like the river. I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know our change gonna come. Oh, yes it is. There you go, man.
And that's all I'm saying.
On the spot like that, bro.
So what I want you to do is the next song you got, make sure you tag me so I can share it on all my stuff. Because sometimes I'm not on Facebook, so I have to go back to see what I got tagged on. But I'm giving you permission now to tag me.
I actually got that cover song on my CD.
Okay, all I'm saying is tag me and I'll
promote it. If I blow up too much, they're gonna come after me. So
What?
They came out me yet, so you know I ain't that big yet.
Hey, you know somebody who do security. So when you blow up, hey, you know somebody who and I got you.
Hey, I'm known by my baby boy music.
Hey, so Lyle, you still there? You want to tell people about your makeup and more?
What up? What up? Yep, y'all know it's me, Lyle Moore, Makeup and More. What I'm really shouting out is to all those ladies out there, man, that's really trying to get that professional edge. I'm really setting Miss Paula up for a next photo shoot that's going to come up real soon. She can give you her tagline, but really to those professional ladies who want those quality shots. There's a lot of ladies going into acting in their 30s, 40s, man, you know, and they need those quality shots. You want to look not exactly like your housewife, because you don't want your makeup overdone, but you want that natural beauty. Holla at me. Makeup and More.
All right, make sure we get some.
Let me say this too. Y'all can this is my artist name too. R.L. Stafford. I'm on Spotify. I'm on iTunes. I'm on YouTube.
Okay.
And I try to cater my music to a group of people that don't normally listen to gospel music or spiritual people. I try to bring different people into the fold. You know what I'm saying? So I use a lot of R&B tracks. I sung over a lot of R&B tracks with some. I don't call it gospel music. I call it spiritual, uplifting music.
There you go.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this now. He's a singer, so I'm gonna call it soul music because that's what it touches. When he doing his thing, it's true soul.
It's a cross between soul, gospel, and hip hop.
Yep.
You know,
that sounds great. I'm down with that.
Tell them when your show is, Robert.
My show is every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Overflow, the Everyday People Show. Anybody want to come on the show can come on the show. You see, you ain't got to be invited on the show like DVP had invite you to come on the show. Hey, all you got to say, hey, send me the link. I'll send you the link. You come on the show. You come on and chop it up with us. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do, man. It's the Everyday People Show. Since I'm on his show, it's the second best podcast in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but it's the first best on Tuesday because I try to catch it when I can. But that's what we got to do. Like I say, we can push each other, we can compete with each other and promote each other all at the same time, and that make everybody better. That makes everybody better. Competition is a great thing, but we got to knock these barriers down. We got to raise the bar to where the bar is the norm. Everybody should want to be good. All men should want to be good, because whether all of us got mothers. We don't all have daughters, but we all got a mama, whether we like her or not. And that's what we got to strive for. And ladies, quit saying real men, because when you make a bad decision, you judge all of us, because dudes and men look alike. And they just like niggas and black folk. They look the same, but they're quite different. So learn to up your skills and know when you got one or the other. Like, we have to do the same thing, and don't hold the past against everybody because you made a bad mistake. Roy, tell them what they need to do if they want to, advertise or if they want to do a show.
Well, I'm gonna jump in. Normally, I don't try to say too much, but we're at that point right now. We're getting ready to transition into 2021. The Jericho Broadcast Networks. We are the oldest commercial black-owned internet-based broadcasting company in the country. We started in 1998. We're doing things very differently. Our goal is to change the world. We want to change the world by changing the way that we as black people see ourselves. Because once we do that, once we see ourselves differently, we're going to act differently on a large scale. We got a couple of things going on right now. We got our end of the year advertising deal going. Right now, there's still about 4 or 5 spots left at $350. That's $350 worth of advertising for an entire year over our different platforms, including our Black College Sports Network. We are still looking for we got 3 more spots for investors. We have a 3-year accelerated investment opportunity. We're asking, it's a $3,000 investment minimum. It's a 3-year period, but there's an accelerated return price. You can get to you have to get to me to get the information about it, because it is that good. And we've picked up I think we've got 6 of the 7 people. No, I'm sorry. We've got 5 of the 7 to 8 people that we wanted to get that are committed. So again,
I need you to say your name again, Roy, and the name of the company and how they can contact you.
Yep. We are the Jericho Broadcast Networks. You can find us on all social media at myjbn and the number 1. I'll make sure I type it into the comments and stuff. But it's the Jericho Broadcast Networks. We, like I said, we do a lot of things differently, and but we are definitely looking for people to get engaged with us, because trust me, when we roll into 2021, the price structure is going to change. It's going to be a lot of stuff. We actually are doing a 6-month deal for podcasts actually right now. Full production, full Facebook, social media integration. Like right now, DVP show is streaming, simulcasting on Facebook, our app, YouTube, and Twitter, and doing all that stuff. We'll do that for you for 6 months for $480. We'll go from that. That's normally a $200. That's what, like I said, a full production assistant. It's normally a $200 a month package. That's 4 2-hour shows per week or per month. So we got a lot of opportunities, man. And like I said, our Black College Sports is the biggest piece, where we do the live streaming of the HBCU events with the Black College Sports Network. Again, if you knew anything about the stuff that was going on with Byron Allen when he did his interview on the Breakfast Club, he actually mentioned my company as we were the reason that he filed the lawsuit. It was kind of an interesting process. I had wrote him a letter literally like 15, 16 years ago, and never thought he had seen it because I didn't get a response. But somebody was tuning in to the Breakfast Club one morning and called me up and told me that he was talking about me on the radio. So I was like, okay, that's cool. Cut a check, bruh. But, we'll let that go. He do what he doing. It ain't going to stop what we doing. But, again, like D says, we're challenging people to have uncomfortable conversations in our community. And we're going to facilitate those conversations, because if we don't, nobody else will. They don't want to do things. And when I say they, I mean the mainstream media doesn't have a desire to do things to uplift our community. That's not their goal. That's not their desire. So we have to be the ones to do it. We are committed to doing that. And again, the biggest thing is, like I said, if you know anybody got $3,000 they want to invest in and get turned over, holla at your boy, and we get you right.
And I'm gonna say this. Hey, Lyle, make sure Paula G go to Little Things by Khalid and check out the page. Robert, you need to get one of these for your show, bro. If you ain't got one of these yet, you know what I'm saying? You ain't trying to come up to the big league yet. Get your show glass. I see you drinking out of some other glass.
Send me one then.
I'm gonna send you to the link, bro. I'm gonna send you to the link. This
you gonna make me pay for it advertising you?
Yours ain't gonna have random.
How much it is? How much is it, man?
I'm gonna send you a bill, bro. You know what I'm saying?
See, he ain't bought the CD, but he want me to buy the glass.
You said that you could download it for free. Don't act. I read what you said.
Oh, you gonna download it for free?
That's what you said, dude. But hey, it's Random Thoughts with DVP. I had fun. I'm gonna have these guests back again. I'm gonna make Robert come back without no excuse. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna go to his house and do the show. Cause he be playing and act like we ain't friends like that. But I want to thank everybody for coming. Denise, which link you want for what? I mean, we talked about a lot of different things. Like I said, Robert got a show. I'm telling you guys, watch the show. It's a good show. He does let anybody to come on and want to have an opinion and talk. Me and Rock gonna have a phone.
Oh yeah, we have a Facebook page too. Overflow, the Everyday People Show. Start a conversation. We might even talk about your conversation during the show. You know what I'm saying? It's my show is your show. Same. I ain't gonna say that.
And that's what we do. Like I say, with JBN, we want to have uncomfortable conversations, because we want to start knocking some barriers down. And I heard this on Dr. Phil one time. A lot of times we bring up topics, but we don't get into issues. We got to get into issues and not just talk about a grand scheme. Let's get into them individually so we can break it down. I'm here every Wednesday from 6 to 8. Robert does his thing from 7 to 9. He will end on time most of the time, but he get carried away too. I just want to thank y'all for coming. All my first-time viewers, I appreciate your time. Hey, and this is what I want y'all to do for me. If you like the show, just ask your friends to follow the page. What I require is free. Ask your friends to like the page, follow the page. If you like the show, make sure you follow so you can get notifications when I go live. If you got a product you want advertised, send me an inbox, and I'll tell you what you need to do. If you want me to advertise the product, I need for you to send it to me for me to put my signature on it. I'm going to stick to these because I drink out of these. And we're going to go from there. There you go, Rob. You can get you one of them.
Who made that glass? Trina made that glass for you?
Trina, yeah.
Can she make me some glasses?
Yeah. So we're going to talk after the show.
I can drink my own. I drink in my own glass instead of drinking out with your name on it.
Yeah. You over there lifting weights.
So tell Trina, hook her brother up, man.
She watching, but she remember when you was being mean to me like 2 years ago. We still got the thread.
I'm always gonna be mean to you.
So
you mean to me?
Right? Can you kill his mic?
What you say? Hurt people. Hurt people.
Hey, she just answered you. All right, but we're gonna do this again. Like I said, I'm gonna have these guests back. I'm gonna have Rob back. He a ton of fun. I'm gonna have Lyle back. We're gonna see if we can get Paula G to come on here and talk about some things. And you know, we'll see y'all when we see y'all. Hey, I'll be back in 6 days, 22 hours, and some change. Check out my JBN. Check out the People Show. What's the Outlook? Overflow.
Overflow, the Everyday PC. You forgot already.
Yeah.
Overflow, the Everyday People Show. If you're an everyday person, come to my show. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm gonna put the links up.
And I'm gonna let y'all talk.
Anyway, hey, y'all know what it is. I appreciate y'all. Peace, popcorn, and chicken grease.
All right, bro.